Welcome back. And as we switch gears now, we're looking at energy solutions. Just before that, we know food preservation is critical to food security, but is less talked about. Now let's talk about climate-friendly solutions to domestic food preservation. And joining us from our Abuja studio this morning to look at this is Priti Saudatu Boboy. She's the project manager, UNEP Off-Grid Refrigeration Guideline Implementation Program of the Rural Electrification Agency. Good morning and welcome to the program, Ms. Boboy.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
And for those who are just hearing about climate-friendly solutions to domestic refrigeration, and they're wondering, what does that even mean? Perhaps you want to explain to them.
Of course. So this program that we're working on is called the Off-Grid Refrigeration Guidelines Pilot Implementation Program. And this is a program that's being implemented by the Rural Electrification Agency of Nigeria in partnership with the United Nations Environment Program. And we're aiming to catalyze the widespread adoption of climate-friendly, energy-efficient refrigeration solutions for rural communities. And this is to help them to be able to access affordable and reliable refrigeration solutions so that they're able to preserve their food, to store their medicines safely, to grow their businesses and preserve their farm produce so that it lasts longer. So in a nutshell, we are trying to help rural communities have the power to cool properly.
Oh, that's great to hear. And you know, I have learned in my work that sometimes the longer the term, the more important it is. So Off-Grid Refrigeration Guidelines Pilot Implementation Program. Lengthy, but it's very important because as Bukola said, food preservation is really important. We know how important that is, right? And looking at the trend, we see that refrigeration is among the most energy-intensive uses. In the projection, I think that by 2050, the ownership of refrigerators in Nigeria will increase from 12 million, which it is as of 2020, to 68 million. So you can imagine the pressure on our energy grid, the pressure on the environment as well. So maybe help us understand how this fits into the Rural Electrification Agency's core mandate of energy access.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head right there. And so when we're speaking about Rural Electrification Agency's core mandate, the main objective is for us to ensure there's access to electricity to every single Nigerian, regardless of where they live. And this program that we're implementing is supporting that by allowing rural communities to make the most of this electricity that we are providing to them, by ensuring that the electricity is not just for lighting homes, but also for achieving productive use that helps to grow their economies, to enhance food security, as well as improve their health facilities, etc. So this program, in a nutshell, helps the REA's objectives to be achieved, but also goes the extra mile of ensuring that energy access creates impact as well.
Yeah, we've heard that this is part of UNEP's United for Efficiency model guidelines. Now, could you explain what these guidelines are and how it will help, Nigerians access it?
Thank you for that question. So the United for Efficiency guidelines are these best practices that were created by the United Nations Environment Program, and they help countries to be able to assess which refrigerators are compliant with the energy efficient and goals that we have. So the guidelines help to create sort of best practices to be able to choose safe, efficient, and energy efficient, safe, and clean technologies for refrigeration solutions. So here in Nigeria with this program, what we're trying to do is take these global best practices and apply them to Nigeria's real-life scenarios in rural communities so that we can test the impact of using these fridges and test out figure out whatever problems could arise from testing it in the real world so that it can be fine-tuned for eventual scale-up. And eventually we want every single community in Nigeria to have access to these energy-efficient, climate-friendly refrigerators.
Amazing. So I'm thinking of the possibilities or the impact of this, not just food preservation, it not just curbs, not only curbs post-harvest losses. I'm thinking of preservation of medicine, vaccines, because we lose a lot as a result of that. You know, vaccines need certain temperatures to keep them viable. But what happens is, because there isn't power or refrigeration solutions, those vaccines no longer are potent. So I'm really curious about the next step. So I'm envisioning that refrigerator, right? And I imagine a lot of Nigerians are envisioning it right now and thinking, this is what I need. This is the solution to my problem. So what are the next steps?
Right. So at the moment, what we're doing here at the REA is a pilot program. And we are currently trying to do some feasibility studies in select communities across the country to be able to collect relevant on-the-field data and understand the cooling gaps and cooling needs of these communities. We're also going to carry out some trainings for the community members to create some awareness for them around these fridges, how to use them, how to maintain them, why they're important. And we're also carrying out some community engagement. As I mentioned, once we're done with this pilot, we'll gather all the lessons that we've learned so that we can eventually scale this up to be able to do it on a much larger scale and spread it across the whole country so that every single Nigerian has access to reliable and affordable cooling. We are planning to work with partners in the private sector, with the banks, of course the government. We want to influence policy so that compliant fridges are what are going to be the energy efficient, climate friendly fridges. So the impacts that we're trying to achieve would be through these policy changes as well as scaling up investments in this sector so that it becomes affordable and accessible to everybody across Nigeria. And rural communities can also have access to cooling cooling for preserving their food, for storing their medication, and for extending the life of their harvests.
Now, for those who are asking, why is this important? Perhaps some already have refrigerators in their homes that are not energy compliant, as you talked about. And the figure quoted by Kadi earlier, according to report, also means that, you know, Nigeria's contribution to emissions would increase. I'd like you to explain, you know, with some form of awareness information, why this is important for energy efficiency.
Thank you for that question. So this particular program is important because we found that, first of all, the population of Nigeria is steadily growing. And what that means is that the demand for these refrigerators would also grow. And refrigerators are one of the largest consumers of electricity in households, as you rightly mentioned earlier. And if we look at things a bit broader as well, the energy sector is the largest contributor to greenhouse gas emissions in Nigeria. And this means that they contribute the most to global climate change. So when you look at this growing electricity demand and the impact that electricity consumption has on global climate change, you also add on to that the limited electricity supply that we currently have. We find that using energy efficient technologies helps you to achieve these overarching goals of reducing the demand on the strained electricity supply, as well as reducing the global energy, the Nigeria's contribution to global climate change, and helping us to achieve our Paris Agreement goals and the nationally determined contribution goals as well. So this program helps to achieve those priorities for the Nigerian government through promoting the use of these energy-efficient, climate-friendly refrigerators that are less impactful negatively on the environment. And lastly, the program also is underpinned by Nigeria's new policy of the Nigeria First under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. And what this is trying to achieve is for us to promote local manufacturing. So this program is going to align with those priorities by enhancing the capacity of local manufacturers, local technicians, companies that are manufacturing or assembling these refrigerators right here in Nigeria.
I mean, the future looks bright with this when it comes to energy, and it's good to see that we're thinking about the future already, and the REA, partner with UNEP, is championing this. So we'll be speaking with you in the coming weeks, months, for updates to see just how well this is catching on and how Nigerians are also responding to this. But we have to thank you so much, Saudatu Baboy, Project Manager, UNEP Off-Grid Refrigeration Guidelines Pilot Implementation Program at the Rural Electrification Agency. Thank you for your time. We wish you the very best.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. So we have our work cut out for us when it comes to energy consumption, and it would be great to see all of Nigeria jumping on this so we have better outcomes when it comes to energy. But just before we anchor on the show today, let us tell you the former Kenyan Prime Minister Raila Odinga has died at the age of 80, according to family sources. Odinga died today while receiving medical treatment at a hospital in India. Well, in recent weeks, there had been speculations about his death, although family members and political allies had dismissed reports suggesting he was critically ill.
Well, may his soul rest in peace. Was a key figure in Kenya's political history. And this is where we drop the anchor on the program. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow. I am Bukola Koka.
Sunrise Daily is next. I'm Kayode Oduhili. Goodbye.